This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast. Delighted to be joined by someone I haven't spoke to on camera for a little while now. We're going to probably go into that. Mr. Harvey Horn. Are you still Triple H?
Of course I'm still Triple H, Cougs. God. When was the last time we spoke? A couple of years ago, I reckon. It's got to be. A year and a half?
It's been a while. Should we just say it's been a while? So, you've obviously been, well, inactive over the last sort of year and a half or so. I think your last fight was back in 2019. So, yeah, just the floor to you, really, Harvey, to explain why you've been out for that amount of time, mate.
Yeah, well, obviously, I suppose everyone's had it hard, haven't they, with the corona, sort of, everyone's sitting on the sidelines. I was with Frank Warren, wasn't I? I had my last fight in 2019, November. So I was due to get, once I won that belt, I was due to get a new contract. So I was supposed to be fighting in February. And then obviously things sort of went a bit tits up there. And I was left with no promoter, which obviously at that time, that's when the lockdown started happening. That's when everything started to go pear-shaped. So it couldn't have happened at a worse time, you know. Like, so I had the only people that was getting looked after really are the people that had promoters that was doing the odd show here and there just to keep their boys active. So it slaughtered me a little bit. But luckily, well, I say luckily, I still didn't box all that time. Been in talks with now Sampson Boxing, so got a good little pathway lined up now. So hopefully it's all sort of quieting down now. Crowds are back, well, they should be back, and I'll be back in action, mate.
Right, let's talk about, yeah, we're at the HQ of Sampson Boxing here in London. So, yeah, they're making a statement of intent by a lot of new signings over the last sort of couple of weeks. We know there's a few, obviously including yourself, being announced this week. So, talk to me about why Calla, why Sampson Boxing?
So I was in talks with Damien, one of the blokes from Wasserman, a while ago when we was looking for management, because I didn't really want to get tied up with another promoter, because from my experience of being in a promoter sort of contract, you wasn't free to fight here and there. You know, like I thought I'd have a bit more freedom with my own career, and obviously it didn't work out that way because there was just nothing going on. No one was offering any. They was only looking after their own fighters. So anyway, and then obviously Wasserman announced their big move with Sauerlands. Great opportunity for me because now it's two powerhouses sort of pairing together. They got great dates with, they got plenty of dates. They got great TV exposure. It's all the things that I was missing when I was in my last few fights. So, I mean, I won that WBO European. It's not a massive belt, obviously, but it gives me world rankings and it's a belt. And I won that and not one bit of coverage. And I think that's what my career's been lacking. I need exposure, I need coverage, because once people see what I'm about, then they'll buy into me. Then they'll see what they're working with. But at the minute, I'm technically unknown, which I think's it's wasted. It's wasted.
When you resume your career, hopefully, like I said, I'm assuming at some point in the summer / autumn, what weight will you kind of return at?
Well, I'll be back at flyweight, but obviously there's got to be a bit of leeway because there's not too much out there at flyweight now. I noticed John Mafosa's having a fight at superfly now, so whether he can come back down to flyer, I don't know. I'm quite gifted, as in I can make the weight comfortably, and I'm big. When you look at these other fellas, they're smaller than me, but they can't seem to. A lot of them seem to be going up to superfly. Maybe it's because of the fight. There's not too much out there fight-wise, but if I would personally like to campaign at flyweight, I want the British badly. Also, there's obviously a couple of names out there that I've got to get. Mafosa, I was supposed to be fighting Tommy Frank at the end of last year. That fell through again, just my luck. And yeah, so flyweight's what I want to be campaigning at. And of course, sorry, you've obviously got Sonny Edwards, who, you know what, I didn't really speak much on it. Done very well to win that world title. And now obviously he's got a massive target on his back for the flyweight, so I'm hoping to get in that mix.
But obviously for you to get in that mix, you need to be active, and that's where obviously you've suffered over the last year and a half, 2 years. So I'm assuming it's almost like, not starting again, but it's sort of the rounds have got to come in, confidence, wins, etc. You've got to kind of do that part of your career again to a certain degree.
100%. I think you bang on. It's like starting again. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm starting again. We need at least one. Obviously, I've got itchy knuckles. I just want to get in and fight anyone. I want to get in and have a go. But I think, obviously, the pathway laid out is we have a night, like maybe a tune-up, just shake the cobwebs off, see how we feel. But I know my body. I know what I'm like. I'm going to hit the ground running. And my first fight, I'm going to make sure I make a statement, not just to just brush cobwebs off, see how I feel and see how we're going to progress. I want to go in there and make a statement and take Geezer's head off. So, yeah.
That's very direct, Harvey. Love it. No, it's good. It's good. Love it. Love it. Well, listen, like I said, we know what Wasserman Boxing are doing with, like I said, this kind of surge of signings they've been announcing. So, yeah, it's a new chapter for yourself, and obviously a new chapter for, like I said, CASSIUS and Wasserman Boxing to come together, which we learned about a few weeks ago. It's kind of brand new territory, this, for everyone.
100%. It's brand new. I think you know what, boxing needs it. I think they need. I mean, you obviously have the Frank Warren and the Eddie Earn are the main powerhouses. Obviously, Eddie's sort of taken over now with the way he's played it, but it'd be exciting. I think Frank, obviously, still a great promoter, does well for his fighters, but it's nice to have a new player in the mix, and I think that's exactly what Wasserman Boxing are going to be. Just because of from my experience with them so far, the dates they've got, the TV deals they've secured, you know, like it just makes sense that they're going to be one of the big players in boxing now. So that's where I want to be.
Well, we'll look forward to your return to the ring, like I said, which I'm assuming to be kind of that kind of late summer, autumn time. A word on England?
Oh, don't. You know what? I've been behaving really well. Didn't go out. Watched it indoors with my brothers and my old man. I don't really want to say anything because obviously football's so opinionated, but I would never have took Rice off if he weren't injured. Obviously, as a West Ham fan, I wouldn't have took Rice off because he was playing great. Poor Bukayo Saka. My youngest brother played at Arsenal. I've known Bukayo since he was 7. They was together at Arsenal. And him and his old man are two of the nicest people. And I just say the stick he's been getting is horrific. Obviously, all of them, Henderson, what's his name, Sancho, and Rashford, been horrific. All 3 of them, for them, it's been horrific. But they did us proud. And me personally would have had Grealish on earlier again. Grealish calls his ag. Should have had him on earlier. Yeah. I don't want to get to, because I'm probably going to get grief in the comments.
No, that's all right. You won't get grief in the comments, because what you're saying there is probably what the majority of proper England fans who kind of know the team and know what should have been happening. But look, listen, like I said, we're fans, and it's why we love the sport. But yeah, it was just a big kind of anticlimax, shall we say, to a great 3 weeks, great 3 or 4 weeks for the country.
I thought we had them on the, well, we did. We had them on the back foot for the first half. Slaughtered them, 35 minutes. Like, I thought we just had them on the back foot, and mate, it's typical, isn't it? And penalties, what a bastard way to lose. Oh, so what? Yeah, what?
No, you're right.
I was going to say, what a bad way to lose, isn't it? It put everyone on a downer, didn't it? And I'll be honest, London was dead yesterday. There was no one up here. And I'm sure, assuming everyone's just hanging, aren't they? They're feeling it. But I'll tell you what, if they don't now, I spoke to you earlier about it, I think where they've opened the floodgates now with Wembley, fans at Wembley, fans at Wimbledon, if they was to somehow cause ag with the boxing fans, and once that starts happening, I would be very, very disappointed, and I think there's no excuse now. We should be full steam ahead now.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, in regards to what you're saying there, that when we're looking at kind of the amount of people, not just inside Wembley, but in and around London over this tournament, I think, like I said, there's no reason why we can't, you know, put shows, whether it not just be Wembley, but even getting a full crowd at the O2 or Wembley Arena or anywhere. Do you know what I mean, around here?
100%. Anywhere. You should be able to have full capacity, just like they did at Wembley. Just like, I'm not being funny, some of the videos going about, you know, the England fans. I mean, we are a wreck, and we are mob. But hundreds of thousands, weren't they? Hundreds of thousands through the Leicester Square, everywhere. It was absolutely chocker. Not one mask in sight, nothing like that. So they should be. I think it's starting to change.
Hope so. Well, Harvey, listen, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. It's been a while. Have you got anything else you'd like to add before we finish?
No, just lads, can I thank sponsors on here?
Of course you can thank sponsors, 100%. What do you think these are for us?
Yeah, obviously, it's been a hard time, like with no fights going on. I'd just like to say a massive thank you to my sponsors, Neil and Lee at White Skip Hire. Kept me in the gym, kept me active, kept me fresh, and kept me positive. So thank you very much.
We know how important sponsors are. Harvey, thank you very much for talking to IFL TV. And listen, we'll catch up with you again when you've got some kind of a date or fight news, then we'll have another catch up again.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, KUGAN. Cheers, mate.